Welcome to the Sugar Hill Podcast, where we focus our lens on the roots of our behaviors and talk about ways to improve our lives in the present, readying us for a journey of chasing our purpose in life. I'm your host, Jeremy, author, coach, and speaker. Every day I wake up to help people operate at their highest potential through self-awareness. I hope you walk away with at least one thing you can implement every day to live the life you deserve. Today's episode is about healing the past. After listening to today's episode, you'll be able to do simple things to help you in healing your past. Before we get into today's episode, I wanted to talk about our first two, where we talked about attaining peace and identifying purpose. On this journey of peace and purpose, when you decide to take the golden path, it's important to know upfront that your past is going to come up. Your past is potentially occupying space needed for things in the present moment. It's possibly altering the way that you view circumstances and people, and it may be even holding you back from attaining peace and purpose. That's why it's so important to deal with things that have happened in the past head on. It's difficult, but it's doable. In our first episode with peace, we talked about defining what peace is to you and being patient, knowing that the universe is listening to you define what peace is and sending circumstances and people to help mold and shape you for that definition of peace is what's next. It's important that you also ground yourself in the present moment by using your senses as focal points in the present moment. Doing that disrupts the thoughts and the emotions that may happen when you're in the midst of the circumstance and people that are molding and shaping you toward your definition of peace. Practicing your definition of peace is so important because as the past continues to come up, your peace will be disrupted. And you have to build a sense of resilience necessary for this golden path that you'll take. Lastly is holding yourself accountable, knowing that peace and purpose is at stake. Hold yourself accountable to how you define peace, so that way, as purpose starts to show up in your life, as you recognize that circumstances and people are orienting you towards your purpose, you'll have peace to protect you. When talking about identifying purpose, using your peace as a sense of boundary or comfort, letting you know that there are things that need to be worked on when your peace is triggered or violated. You have to identify your truest self. Get comfortable with who you are, not the titles, not the degrees, not the jobs, not the income, but the true self. The one that is aware that you are breathing, the one that is aware of your emotions, the one that is aware of the things that have happened to you. Identify your true self, the core of who you are that is wrapped around with layers of trauma, of hurt, of pain, facades and things that are not who you are. This is important because as you enter into those circumstances with people who are not only molding you and shaping you for your definition of peace, but also towards your purpose, you have your peace and you have your truest self that are helping you to know when to act, how to respond, and from a place of fullness to know that you are going to get the best outcome possible. That's important also because in the circumstances that may have people, you will have lessons that you need to learn and apply. These lessons are meant to help you undo the things that have happened to your family lines, and also, again, to help mold and shape you towards your definition of peace and purpose. When you apply these lessons, life begins to unfold. You can also use your gifts and talents as a way to help you navigate through life because they will make room for you. You'll notice as you reflect on things, the lessons, your gifts, your talents, your circumstances, and people in your lives, that there's a golden thread that will help point you toward your purpose. So knowing that peace and purpose is at stake, dealing with the past, how to deal with the past, is important. Healing the past. It's a journey, just like others, that's not easy, but definitely worth it. In reflection of my own journey of healing the past, I realized that it was important for me to embrace reality. Yes, there are things that happened to me. Yes, there are things that I wish that I would have done differently, different choices that I would have made, people that I would have seen red flags and made a better decision, but reality is, it happened. Embracing reality is best done by using our senses as focal points in the present moment, grounding yourself to disrupt the patterns and the thoughts and the emotions that may happen when you're triggered by your past. Once you embrace reality, the next step is to set SMART goals, goals that are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. This helps with making sure that the next steps that you have to take in healing your past are bite-sized and things that won't make you procrastinate or feel like it's too cumbersome. And one of the ways that you can heal the past is through using tools like not-for-profit organizations or support groups or people that are trained to deal with the things that you're trying to heal from. We definitely don't come born with the knowledge or the resources or the know-hows to heal in the past. Using tools makes life a lot easier. And remember, similar to embracing reality, we talked about grounding ourselves in the present moment. Be present-minded as you are healing your past. Look at the circumstances, look at the people, look at the lessons, your gifts and talents. Look at the entire circumstance to understand why. Not only for yourself, but maybe the people that were involved in this scenario or the circumstance. Maybe they didn't have the things that they needed. And it's okay to forgive what happened. Forgiveness is not saying that it's okay, but it's releasing the control that it has over your life. And knowing that the past will trigger so many emotions, so many thoughts, it's important that you give yourself grace and space. Yes, this journey's not easy, and it again won't happen overnight. There may be moments where you have to pause and reflect, but remember to give yourself grace and space. Knowing that peace and purpose is at stake. From this point forward, apply what we've talked about today to ensure that your lens is super focused. Doing this will make healing the past more attainable. This has been the Sugar Hill Podcast. This is Jeremy, signing off.